Good morning. I'm 13 Weather Authority meteorologist bringing you a live update with the current thunderstorms that are moving through right now. We have a line of showers and thunderstorms really taking over northern Illinois right now, and they're bringing a little bit of a punch. So let's take a live look out of our 13 WREX camera before we dive into what we're seeing and what we're going to expect later today. All of a sudden, those skies turned very dark, so you could definitely see how much darker it is. It's cloudy, it's rainy. I can hear that rain on the roof in our station as well. We're going to continue to see this for a little bit longer, but this wave will end up moving out shortly. However, it's really the front end of it that is bringing a bit of that punch. So we're talking gustier winds, heavier showers, which is what we're seeing right now on exact track. Another thing along with this is there's also a lot of lightning. That's what you're seeing really along that edge of that entire system that's moving through. And taking a little bit of a closer look, the very bright pink purples and pinks that you're seeing right there, that is very heavy rain. So that's moving through places like Oregon. City of Rockford is up next as it slowly approaches I-39. Then DeKalb County and Boone County will be next. So a little bit better of an idea of timing. Rockford closer to about 7:28, so that's really just about 5 more minutes. It's going to get closer to the city. McChesney Park 7:32, DeKalb 7:41. Areas a little bit further to the east, like for example, Sugar Grove there, 7:57. So this is going to continue to move really to the east, northeast there, sweeping across northern Illinois. Now, there has also been a little bit of hail detected with this. So we saw a couple what are known as special weather statements issued. So it's just a heads up, not quite a warning or anything like that, but just an idea to give you a better heads up that there is some stronger thunderstorms moving through. So those gray colors that you're seeing popping up here on our hail tracker are indicative of some of that pea-sized hail that has been moving through. It's going to continue to follow as this line moves in. But speaking of, let's break it down here on future tracks. So over the next several minutes, it's going to get closer to I-39, continuously sweeping through. This is now taking you to 8:24, still seeing those areas of heavy rain at times. So as of right now, a lot of that is really getting closer to I-39, but it's going to continue to move through the rest of the morning, taking you to about 9:30. So if you are going to be heading out the door a little bit later, you might already be in the clear. Notice most of the area already dry, but we may still see a stray shower or two through the end of the morning into your lunch hour. But we won't be in the clear just yet. So this is really just the first round of today's activity. We are still under that 1 out of 5 there for stronger storms this afternoon. All threats are on the table, including damaging wind gusts, hail, and even tornadoes. However, if we get the atmosphere to bounce back and recharge in a sense, then we will end up seeing really the primary threats of damaging wind gusts and hail into our afternoon. And I'll show you what that looks like here on future track. So as we move through the rest of the morning, all that activity from as of right now will end up moving out, but those thunderstorms may redevelop. So a lot of that will move in closer to 1 o'clock. Here's about 1:30. We're seeing a lot of that activity moving in, and notice some of those stronger thunderstorms rather isolated. So not everybody will see it, but they continue to move through as we get further into the afternoon. But you'll notice after 5 o'clock especially, that's when that threat will subside. Can't rule out a stray shower or storm though, however, as we move into the rest of our evening. Luckily, though, we end up drying out overnight. So I'm going to loop back through that one last time. If you are just joining us this morning, we are tracking those showers and thunderstorms, really bringing that punch, especially on that leading edge. So right now it's approaching Rockford, getting closer to I-39, Rochelle as well. You're starting to see that rain here, the thunder, as it continues to move through northern Illinois. There's a lot of lightning with this. I mean, you could really see it on that leading edge. So make sure that if you're stepping outside, you're making it quick. If you could let this pass through before heading out, I would definitely recommend that. There's also a lot of heavy rain. So those are those little red and pink circles you're seeing here on exact track. Again, that's just passed through Oregon. Some of that heaviest rain is now moving through Rochelle, Compton there further to the south, but also Rockford, McChesney Park, Loves Park, Rockton, South Beloit. You are all up next. So a little better of an idea of when some of that heaviest rain is going to get to places Looks like Rockford closer to 728, so really within just minutes here. Machesney Park 732, DeKalb 741. So further to the east of I-39, you have just a little bit more time. It'll get to Belvedere and Boone County as well as it continues to race across the area. There is some hail reported with this. Very small though, dime to pea-size hail, but you could definitely see that here on our hail tracker. Those are those little shadows that are coming up, the gray colors that you're seeing. So some areas may see just a little bit of hail moving through, along again with some gustier winds and heavy rain. Speaking of heavy rain, that it checks out with what we're seeing here on Future Track. Now taking you through the rest of the morning, let's fast forward about an hour, 8:27. We're still seeing some of that heavy rain within parts of northern Illinois, but you'll notice that really that front leading edge of the storm is way off to the east at this point. So areas further to the west are starting to dry off. That trend is going to continue as this entire system and really round of showers and storms moves out. And if we end up clearing out enough to get the atmosphere to recharge and kind of bounce back into the early afternoon, that'll give us a better potential for stronger storms, which is why we're under that 1 out of 5 for our Tuesday afternoon there. The primary threat is going to be damaging wind gusts and hail. However, all hazards are on the table, so that includes a low tornado potential. And that's again if we get the atmosphere to bounce back. Taking a look at Future Track for the latter half of our day today, at least the early afternoon, it's really when we get closer to about 1 o'clock do we start to see some of those cells firing up. They continue to move through northern Illinois, so here's about 1:40, still seeing some of that, but notice how isolated it is. So not everybody will see it. We're going to continue to see it then moving out, and especially once we get closer to about 5 o'clock, we're already starting to quiet off and that threat will subside. We can't rule out a stray shower or storm throughout your evening. However, no longer seeing that severe threat. So I'll leave you with this last loop of Exact Track right now. A lot of this activity right now moving into places like Rockford, Rochelle, Malta, Creston, DeKalb, Sycamore. You are all going to be up next, along with areas like Machesney Park, Lebbs Park, Beloit, South Beloit, and then of course will come Boone County, so Belvedere, as this continues to move through. So make sure you have the umbrellas ready to go. Make it quick if you're heading out. Lots of lightning with this. If you could wait for this at least initial front to pass through, we will end up seeing just some heavier showers on the back end, but a lot of the lightning, the gustier winds, and that heavy rain is right on that leading edge. So be sure to stay tuned to the forecast. Download our 13 Weather Authority app. We have updates on there all day long, and we'll also, of course, you have access to that interactive radar, which will give you a good idea of when a lot of this activity is moving through. You can pinpoint your location, all the good things that you'll need to keep yourself aware and safe. Later today, again, we do still have that potential for isolated stronger storms, so stay tuned. We'll of course bring you the latest, and be sure to join us later at 13 News midday. Until then, hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, and as always, stay